Hey my sugar bears, welcome back to my channel, Bougie AF. It's your host, Jay Nicole. It's where I say stay bougie on them. It's me feeding you feminism for the soul. It's my soul food offering. It's where I apply pressure to issues by being critical and logical. Now don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get to the commentary where I can guarantee you I will be doing too much because that's just me. And like Sheree said, who's gonna check me, boo?
Hey y'all, so to finish up this video, it's going to be longer than I really wanted it, but that's okay. But I wanted to add this context to the video because granted, I'm starting off this video with Nature Boy being sentenced and the judge kind of summarizing, of course the lawyer summarizing like what he's been accused of, but I ran across this other video on YouTube that I thought was extremely good. Gave me a lot of like visuals for you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about and referring to when I make and say the things that I do say in terms of like the garments and what they're wearing and what it comes across as. It just literally comes across as every man's dream to be living in the rainforest and fucking anything that they want and living off the grid. And I thought it was I thought it was by coincidence, but the commentator on the video that I'm going to show you guys, he kind of summarized it in the same way and gave a lot of backstory and history to a lot of things. I'm not going to, this video is 13 minutes and 26 seconds long. So please most definitely go check it out. I want to give you the name. It's DMO Digital, and I'll have the link in the description so that you guys can go check him out. Seems as though he's doing great work. I just, like I said, I ran across this video and thought, hey, I need this visual in this video. So let me go ahead and give you a little bit of what he's saying, because like I said, he's breaking down the rise and fall of Nature Boy and Carbonation, because that's the name of his cult. But yeah.
Nothing short of peculiar. This cult takes the cake for the littest and maybe most dominant cult this decade. Nature Boy and Carbonation has treated social media as its own breeding grounds for the next generation of cults. I came across these people back in 2017 on Instagram when they used to go by Melanation.
There was one group in particular that interested me. It was full of young people claiming to understand the truths of the world. They preached on social media, but lived amongst the trees of Costa Rica. They called themselves Melanation.
Melanation in the building, we got the whole fam today.
I decided to go and meet them.
Now this cult, and I can't say this with full confidence because they've already declared themselves as one. Their leader has beef with several high-profile dudes in the conscious community. They've had kidnapping allegations and have been kicked out of multiple countries. Yes, multiple countries. Imagine Love and Hip Hop meets Hippie Commune and you get the perfect amount of harmonious ratchetness that only the cocktail of dysfunction, daddy issues, and toxicity seem to manifest. But before we get into it, flick like.
Now, remember what I said about daddy issues and why such groups of like NOI and other cults, or where there seems to be like this strong leader that is imposing their thoughts and wills on you, seems to be easily absorbed within the black community, because there is a lot of daddy issues from what you see in pimp culture with young girls to you see like young men getting into gangs and getting into cults and this type of behavior. So yeah, it's most definitely a problem, but it manifests and shows up in different types of ways.
Smash subscribe and come get this game. Carbonation was founded as Melanation by Eligio Bishop around 2016. Now what's interesting about this is during this time IG and YouTube are in full swing. So what do you do when you're an ambitious rising young cult leader? You vlog it, of course, gathering a handful of young woke followers, and they were off to the forests of Honduras, a foreign country, to get away from Babylon. Babylon being anywhere you have to use a debit card. There's no info on his birth information as of yet, but I think he's made claims that he was from New York. Now, where in New York, I have no idea, but according to an ex-member, his parents died at an early age and he was put into the foster system. She also mentions that he was adopted and might have been abused in his foster home, but at some point, Nature Boy moves to Atlanta, where he claims to have been a stripper, a homosexual sex worker, and a model before eventually becoming a barber. According to a second YouTube video I found back in 2012, there was an energy shift and he started to become more conscious, and his way of combating capitalism, white supremacy, and all the BS going on in America was to get off the grid and go back to nature.
That is extremely. Let's not gloss over a little bit of his backstory, his history of being in a very perverted type of lifestyle, right? So he was a stripper, he was a male sex worker. So essentially laying out the fact that he is someone who's very fluid in his sexuality, that is known. So I don't think you can ignore those things. But again, that's somebody that's in a particular lifestyle. And there's a reason. I know sometimes, like, I flippantly say, I remember there was a conversation about strippers and stuff like that. And I said, I wouldn't date a male stripper. And one of the reasons is like, people would like, oh, but everybody has a history, all that other stuff. And when someone is in or have been in a particular lifestyle, they're used to doing certain things. And it's just not my cup of tea. And so when I think of like the person that I want to fall in love with, I do want to make sure that I'm falling in love with someone that has some type of principle, self-control, discipline, and all that. And that goes down to where you allow your dick to be placed is extremely important to me. Like, that shows a lot of maturity and self-control. So yeah, this is big turnoffs for me, red flags for me, pervertedness. Just nasty. Don't go around putting everything in your mouth, y'all. That's just what I say.
Claiming this was the most effective way to shut down the system. But it was this video that seemed to have birthed the charismatic young leader we now know as Nature Boy today. It was his foray into teaching and spreading his message, going on to post lectures or rants, as some may describe. Sometime going on for hours. Finally, in 2016, Nature Boy packs his bags and leaves Babylon, air quotes, for Honduras with a handful of his disciples, men and women from across his various reach of social media platforms. He preached that he was the return of Jesus Christ, mashing religion with pseudoscience. At first, men and women were paired together in marriage, commonly referred to as their directs, more air quotes. But later he just grew into full-blown polygamy. Eventually, the group made a new home for himself in Costa Rica, and a slew of drama follows, with multiple rumors of physical and mental abuse from both men and women, and Nature Boy stealing other members' wives or directs. Eventually, the group gets deported out of Costa Rica in 2017. But on the flight back to Babylon, they were kicked off of Spirit Airlines because they stank.
Spirit Airlines won't let us on the flight because they said we stink. But nobody stinks. We need a lawyer. We need to, this a lawsuit has to be done about this. It's crazy. We don't stink. They said that we can't get on the plane because we stink. They said we can't get on the plane because we stink. They said we.
So we all know that they were a hot, funky ass mess. Let's call it what it is. These are those nature people barely believing in deodorant and taking the proper showers daily. Because there are those who believe deodorant gives you cancer and all this other stuff. And like I said, this is not a knock on that. There are those who found alternatives that do work for them. But yeah, y'all know they were a hot, funky mess. If a fucking airplane is just airline companies talking about you can't get on. Huh? Y'all didn't run y'all asses through the river water before you left?
We can't get on the plane because we stink, bro. It's because we're black. I'm just letting you know that right now. Make this go viral, y'all. Can you tell us why we got off this flight? Why did they tell us to get off the flight?
You can go in this flight because some passengers say that you smell.
What, you saying the passenger?
Okay, the passenger said it, okay? Not everything's racism. We are not going to blame your funkiness on racism. That's not what we're going to do. That's not what we're going to do. Y'all niggas look like, I'm just looking at you on a fucking computer screen and you look like you stink.
Just say that we smell?
Yes.
We don't be eating anything that stinks.
I have come home and I have stood at the
Yep, that's right. They were kicked off of Spirit Airlines because the passenger and flight crew couldn't stand the smell of them. Bishop did not allow his followers to bathe in anything other than natural fresh water. So, you ask? Nah, f that. That's not good for your immune system, playboy. It's all natural over here, baby.
What?
Now, remember when I said they were kicked out of multiple countries? They were also kicked out of Panama, Nicaragua, and in 2020 they were kicked out of Hawaii too. But I'm ahead of myself. Before all this, in 2017, a white family from Canada reported their 21-year-old daughter Kayla missing. And guess where they found her? Living with a 34-year-old nature boy in a cult. The family speculated Mr. Nature Boy brainwashed her and was holding her against her will. I mean, why else would a young white girl take off with a middle-aged stripper, ex-barber, ex-adult entertainer, black man? Apparently, the girl told her parents she was going on a church retreat and just never came back. This led to the BBC. Nah, not that one.
The way you said it, it was a.
That's reaching, bro. Did I say it? Did I say it crazy?
To debut an expose on him, his cult, and his involvement with the disappearance of Kayla Reed, aka Sunray.
I came across these news stories online about Kayla, the woman I just met. It claimed she'd been brainwashed into joining Melanation. The press report said the community was a cult led by Nature Boy.
Am I controlling and manipulating your mind?
I felt like I belonged here. That's why I came here.
Nature Boy moved.
One thing I forgot to mention, when you moved out of Babylon, you had to change your Babylonian name, right? The ordeal got so big that Sunray, decided to leave and go back to Canada.
So, yeah, I'm going back to Canada mainly because, of the safety of us. I don't want anybody getting hurt because I'm here. So I'm gonna go back there for now until I get things straightened out.
Nature Boy, who seems to have changed his moniker every fiscal year from Master Teacher, Bougie, Chief, to now I believe he goes by 3 Guy.
This is crazy.
But you might wonder, how is he getting money to do all this? Fam took a page out of the old cult leader handbook. Many of his followers gave up all their worldly possessions, making young college students fork over their savings from refund checks and hard work.
Extorting money from a young person.
Bishop lived off of other members' PPP loans and life savings.
This is why
I think I remember a lady giving him money and a house in Costa Rica, and then she ends up dying due to not taking her heart medication she needed to survive because Nature Boy says he was a holistic healer and going in the sun, a vegan B6 diet, and grounding is the cure-all for any ailments.
Absolutely. The transition for you has been good. Right? Definitely has made that. Oh, yeah. Talk about my health. I had high blood pressure. I'm still overweight, but I'm working on that. And I was taking medication for my heart, but I don't have that anymore. I've been grounded, eating the right on the B6 diet, so that has helped me.
There was a huge uproar about it from his heaviest critics online. He went on to continue.
So y'all, I haven't, this is the first time I got this deep in this video. I don't know, maybe I will finish it on this video. But I heard about Mama D. I had never seen her before. So she seems to look like she's a Costa Rican woman. And so this is what we're talking about, the manipulation that people like Nature Boy and Dr. Sebi do in terms of like, when they get in your head, they then tend to think that they are medical doctors. And you tend to believe in them so much that you don't take your medication. So again, as they said, he was living in her house, in a house of hers, and convinced her not to take her medication, and she ended up passing away, right? Yeah, this is really, really sad. This is really, really sad. But this is the hope game, y'all. This is the hope game. This is the shit that people are peddling within the community. It's the reason why niggas are still donating to Umar Johnson after 10 plus years. It's the hope game. We hope that this brother is going to make this happen. We hope and believe, because you got to be better than what we're getting in from the white man. So that's a lot of what's going on. Just PREYing on the community for his own personal gain.
To live stream his lectures where he'd make crazy statements on homosexuality.
To the flow of it, and I asked the universe, I want to know, what makes someone homosexual? Like, honestly, I want to know. Shit. Well, I would have a transsexual wife, and I will. And I will. I do like transsexuals because I'm attracted to that. And I have to be honest about that. I don't feel like that makes me gay because I look at her as a woman. So the best head I ever got was from a transsexual. Unfortunate.
What?
He got in a ton of hot water for making claims that he's...
That's a sexual deviant. He's most definitely a sexual deviant, and there's nothing wrong with being attracted to transsexual women if that's what you like as a man. You just like some man jaws on your penis, sir. That's just all it is. The man jaws do what you want it to do, but yeah. I mean, I guess it's important to pay attention to this type of stuff because we're just looking at an unhinged, crazy person living out their fantasies and taking advantage of people, again, in the jungle.
slept with his wives, with his children in the room. Matter of fact, he could tell you.
I look at her as a woman. So the best head I ever got was from a transsexual.
I need y'all to hear that part again about the children and sleeping with his wives.
Unfortunate. What?
He got in a ton of hot water for making claims that he slept with his wives, with his children in the room. Matter of fact, he could tell you better than I can.
You know why I don't let kids around me, other people kids around me? Because the way I am. When I see my son, this is how I treat my son. We naked together. I take bath with my kids. I'm naked with my kids. I have sex in front of my kids. My son be breastfeeding and I'll be making love to his mama.
Wow, man. Damn.
What? Not only this, but his inflammatory remarks and abstract views has led to very public beefs with Young Pharaoh and Brother Polite, two very prominent figures in the Black conscious community. There was a constant revolving door of young...
So he's in jail for sexually assaulting and raping his stepdaughter. And Pharaoh, I mean, that is just a hot stinking ass mess. I believe he's still on YouTube, but I never run across his bullshit. But the Black conscious community to me is the number one enemy of the Black community, because they are just filled with a lot of just Black men and stupid ass women that are that follow them, that are preying on the community with the hope message, the community message, and that's all this is about. This is the community message. This is what people think that would be better for Black Americans to get ahead, is to not integrate with white society. That's essentially what he's talking about when he talks about living off the grid and living off of Babylon and being the the king or the head of the community, and it's not like they do better, right? Like, this one thing to like have this position, like in terms of nature boy and convincing people to go live in these multiple countries that you got kicked out of, and you forming this community, but it's a productive community. It's a healthy community, right? It's a community where people aren't getting taken advantage of, rape, abuse, or any of that other stuff. There's some form of system or structure in place that are helping people with like kids and, providing a better way of life, right? And that's not what we're talking about. That's not what has happening. All we see is motherfucking Black Indians or whatever the fuck they got going on now. Like I said, the Black Indians now in the motherfucking rainforest, right? One day they got the African garb on, and another day they Indians, as you can see. So just a lot of just fantasy, living out your fantasy going on.
And fit men and women on their path to enlightenment. And one could assume their natural lifestyle, there was a lack of contraception, leading to allegations of herpes, HIV.
I don't believe in going to no doctor to put no spell on me to sell medicine to me. I feel good. One person has herpes, that's a human being. We all have herpes. So I wanted to understand disease, to teach about disease.
What do you mean by that?
disease because they're calling me the one with HIV and I don't have HIV, unfortunately. But I do have HIV as far as what we all are. If one person has it, we all have it. I literally took an HIV test and it didn't even matter.
What?
And woman getting pregnant. One, most importantly, was his longest serving wife, Velvet, which he stole from one of his male followers. This caused a rift between he and the young girl because he was polygamous and she couldn't get him to stop sleeping with other women in the cult. So she went full on bitter baby mama and moved back to Babylon with her new baby. Now this is important because this seems to be where the pendulum swings to bring down Carbonation. At some point, Carbonation moved back to Babylon, to finish spreading the good gospel until the most recently of...
Speaking. One of the things I said about recently is that brother's in a down low community and he's not down low. Like it's known that he had slept, or he lets you know he's attracted to transsexual men, is the protection of these type of men within the community. As you heard him say, he does not believe in condoms. He's sleeping with women and men at the same time. But on top of that, unprotected, right? Don't believe in condoms, unprotectedly going back and forth. So when I see people in both the communities, men and women, that try to protect sickos like this, that aren't being safe for women or men, and it's not about being bisexual. It's not about that being your that being your desires. Like, it's really not about that. But when you decide to lie about the fact that you are, sleeping with both men and women, and you're okay with passing whatever STDs and HIVs and all that other stuff as if though it's nothing, right? And so where we're at right now in society when it comes to HIV, it's not the 90s, right? People are catching HIV and they're living full lives, i.e. Magic Johnson, and there's other people who are, honest and let you know, I've lived over 30 plus years with HIV and manage it with medications and things like that. But then there are those who think just like Nature Boy, won't get the help that they won't go see doctors, or just carefree about lying to people and sleeping with both sexes. So for me, I have no tolerance for that. And this is not about exposing somebody because they are gay or in the closet. But when you have a carefree, don't give a fuck attitude about how you live your life, and the fact of the matter is, as much as we want to say how I live my life is my business, the minute it affects other people, it is everybody's business. And something like HIV, STDs, and anything that could be transmitted through sex is everybody's business.
April 24th, 2002, Nature Boy was arrested in Decatur, Georgia on charges of SA, false imprisonment, and revenge porn.
Went by the home Thursday afternoon, and several people who say they are Bishop's disciples came out and talked with me.
Basically, the police raided us on false allegations.
Followers who were at Bishop's home on Arbor Chase the night of the arrest defended their leader and insisted women are not mistreated here.
He says those criminal accusations are from a disgruntled former member of the Carbonation family.
The woman that was here, she gave consent to actually release it for sexual education.
They believe in nature, nudity, and kindness.
Everything that happens sexually happens among adults.
Correct.
Yes. Consenting adults.
Correct.
They call him God, literally.
God is a very loving being. He's very caring. He's very holy. This is a revolving door, and you can come in and out as you please. No one is no one is going to hold you against your will.
Women come here, they don't get their way, and they go against the black man.
The black man is God.
The black man is God.
And y'all just locked up the Messiah.
And guess who filed the
Manaverse and Manosphere and YouTube, and you hear a lot of people, even on Clubhouse, you hear a lot of white people even trying to buy into that whole concept of the black man is king and black man is this. They don't know what that's grounded in. They don't know what that's about, and that's literally about this polygamy. That's literally about abuse and just disgustingness as of what you see here. Black men who it's because this is not an all black man thing, right? Like the men who are buy into that mindset or feel they need to overly are sufficient or good providers in like real life and able to live in society and be accepted and are productive members of society. These aren't the men that we're talking about. And I hate that sometimes when I talk about a man like Nature Boy, it gets lumped into, and I will repeatedly say this, gets lumped into as though I feel this way about all black men. No, I'm putting a name on it. I'm talking directly about who I'm talking about. I'm making sure that I distinguish this type of man versus this type of man. And I think those who want to just label it like a hateful male bashing message is just those who are just probably uneducated, uninformed, and don't know what they're talking about and what it's really, really grounded in. And it's just really grounded in this sexual deviant culture that we currently see with like people like R. Kelly, which we currently see with people like P. Diddy. Like this is pervasive. This is in the culture, right? This is Malachi York from the 80s, right? Like this is something that we continue to keep seeing happening within our community, and then we try to narrow it down to just like when we call it out to just like black man hate, and it's sort of like nope, not at all. It's very specific. We got names, we got characteristics, we have patterns of behaviors. Like we have things we can really, really point to, from the James Clevelands to the Eddie Longs. Like the list is really, really, really bad. And I know black people hate this, and I don't give a fuck. You're going to be really mad at me about the shit that I say and how I put it together with really knowing black history and knowing, the things socially that has occurred within blackness that I can most definitely tie into this, right? And so with that being said, when I talk about like the Catholic altar boy scandal that happened in the Catholic Church, and I literally, and will stand on it, say that the black church is worse. Yeah, the black church is worse. The black church is worse. And I think because, the black church is not like the Catholic Church, which is under one pope. And so we see it as just like one church, but the different sects and the different made up religions along the way that has happened over the last 100 years, almost definitely the black church, the Catholic Church ain't got shit on the black church. Let's be completely honest. I think I can pull up just random examples of, last year, I was on Clubhouse and it was a big conversation about this pastor who married an 18-year-old girl in his church that he had known since she was 14 years old. Right? So like there's a lot of this grooming, and her father walked her down the aisle. Like come on. Like come on. Like where's the example of that in the Catholic Church? Help me understand, right? And so like I said, I hate when people be trying to look at other people's houses and try to critique them, knowing that damn well is worse than yours, because it really is. Nasty ass. Look, but the pictures be dope, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, this is a dope picture. This is why I told y'all. I was looking at the pictures like, damn, this looks like it's like for a fashion magazine or some shit, Nature magazine. Or these niggas is crazy.
The charges, the baby mama. And it's been a local media joke ever since. At the present moment, Nature Boy has been locked up, but his most recent harem is still putting in that work for him.
Peace to the gods. Don't forget, we still ride for the truth. Our husband has been so optimistic and positive and stronger than most people through this whole experience. Y'all already seen the truth. It's already out there on the internet. 3 is free. 3 is free. 3 is free.
I'm not going to plug them here, but y'all can still find Carbonation floating around on YouTube while their 3 God is locked up in DeKalb County Jail. Anyway, what are y'all thoughts on this code? Leave them in the comments. Until then, 333. 333. Oh man, I'm out.
That is crazy. Look how passionate and strong they are in that shit, y'all. These people are really, 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 really believe a lot of times with these comments on this video in particular, these are going to be people who have been following and probably quite aware of the story. So let's see what they have to say real quick. This is going to be a two-part video. So like I said, in my first part of this video, I gave out like what the judge, sentenced him to. And this part of the video, I wanted to make sure that I added context of like who they were and what they were about and what that looks like, right? So that way you can see it when it appears on, Clubhouse, or when it appears on different social medias, on like why certain perspectives and certain thoughts that tend to deviate from the majority of Black Americans that are grounded in like real Christianity and Black Americanness. When you hear this like nature, Black man is God shit, what that's about. So that's why I tell white people, mind your business. Just mind your motherfucking business. I promise you don't know what the fuck going on. Y'all gonna hear me refer to this certain person a lot because when I run across nature boys and people like a polite or just master manipulators and men that are able to manipulate women to get what they want, that be down low, that just be out here creating kids and picking and choosing on what kids they should be able to claim, they exist, right? So like I know a nature boy in my city. Like I know a nigga that would go around sleeping around with every and anything and not wrapping it up and having kids and having women fight over him and all types of weirdo shit. So when I say like this is not like these anomalies that never really happen, no, this motherfucking shit is going down, right? Before they become nature boy and everybody thing like that. So let's get into these comments. Let's like this video, because that would be kind of weird to be on somebody's video and not like they shit. Like, come on, I got some home training. All right, so like I said, it's DMO Digital. Go check him out. So this person said there are some facts in this video that I got wrong. He said his baby mother did not file charges. Another woman did. Okay. I say his first video was in 2012. I meant 2015. Okay. Eligio Nature Boy Bishop has been found guilty of all 5 charges and was sentenced to life without parole plus 10 years. Let's see. Okay, so let's see the first. This person says that having sex in front of the kids and while the wife is breastfeeding is disgusting. It is very disgusting. It's actually another video I'm doing, and it's a video of a couple women who are breastfeeding their kids. One is 3, one is look like he's 6, and I'm just very uncomfortable. I am not that feminist that I keep telling you guys that will excuse women's behavior. If I run across despicable, disgusting, predatory women's behavior, I'm gonna call that out for what it is, right? Like, so I'm just not gonna there's nothing that and this is why I took the position when it came to Floyd Mayweather and P. Diddy. There's nothing that I aligned with or I can identify with that would make me defend women and sometimes some of their disgusting behavior. So you're gonna always lose me if you're like, oh, that's another black man. Okay, that's another black woman. So what that mean? What that mean? That I need to think her being all dolled up and dressed up in hair and makeup and her 3-year-old is sucking on her titties and she's caressing his head, like that's supposed to make sense to me because that's another black woman? Have we fucking lost our minds out here? I'm sorry. Like, it's crazy. How bad you gotta stink for Spirit to kick you off the plane? We haven't eaten anything that stinks. That's not how it works. Update. Nature Boy has been found guilty on all 5 charges, sentenced to life without parole plus 10 years. Social media need not to let cult activity be allowed. That I totally agree with. But it's sort of like who gets to define who's a cult, right? And that's where, for me, when it comes to religion, I'd be okay if none of the shit was on social media, to be completely honest. I just really could do without it in society in that type of way. And that's, for me, that's the best way to say, hey, I can't dictate or tell you what to believe, but I just don't feel like it needs to be in the public sphere. This is mad, man. How damaged you have to be to fall for this? That's a fact. You have to be extremely damaged to fall for this bullshit. And it's sad because he knows that. He just has the gift of being an orator, just like the Umar Johnsons, Malachi Yorks, and everybody fucking else. That's a strong order if Spirit Airline refuses you service. I flew with them once and it smelled like a funky locker room. Disgusting. This one says, this is crazy seeing this as a documentary when I watched this in real time. Love and flip-flops. Velvet, the mother of his child, wasn't necessarily bitter. She had stated multiple times in the past that she was okay with polygamy. She just wasn't okay with how he was doing it. He would constantly intentionally trigger and try to pit the women against each other by making them jealous and fight like pit bulls for the position of chiefess. Even had Velvet fight brutally with another female of the cult as well. It should be on YouTube still, but it's crazy. I'm talking blood, bruises, black eyes, attempted drowning, etc. And that's what I think a lot of times people don't realize in terms of like polygamy in these men in these positions. It's a whole lot of trying to trigger you, trying and wanting women to fight over them. It's not like they're creating harmonious communities where all the women are, I guess, equally loved and feel protected and not feeling as if though someone is trying to manipulate them for their own personal entertainment, right? Like pitting women against each other, which a lot of men do that. And I even think sometimes it's done unconsciously, but I don't know. No, because like even when I'm on Clubhouse and I see like certain men like try to position their mods, right, their women mods to be antagonistic and go back and forth with like other women for entertainment, like that's that same type of mindset of like, hey, if you're gonna be my my partner, if you're gonna be sitting next to me in position, you got to be willing to fight for your position and prove yourself. Like that's what really be happening. Like you have to prove yourself to be a part of them and what's going on. So it's disgusting. It's important to know it when you see it. Like that's why I'm so, like when I tell you, that's why I am so 10 toes down. Like, if I ain't talking to you, don't address me. Don't be fighting all everybody's fucking battles. If it ain't your husband, you ain't got no papers on that nigga, shut your motherfucking mouth when speaking to me about the next nigga. Like, and that's a period upon period. Like, for real, we not gonna do that. I know you feel like you need validation and something to prove, but I'm not gonna squabble with you and go back and forth, like, because I'm not a bird. From the words of P.D. Barnum, there's a sucker born every minute. That's a fact. Trauma bonding at its worst. Facts. Because I don't even think people know what trauma bonding is. Like, just because I'm in a room and we talking and we vibing and we sharing our experience, that's not essentially what trauma bonding is. Like, it's just really not. It's this bullshit. Realizing that you want to live off the grid, you can't get ahead because of white man, and we all have that same story, and it's led us to living in the rainforest, not wanting to be with our family. It's like that's what like trauma bonding is, but whatever. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that this is actually real. It's real as fuck, girl. Why and who would follow him? It's really sad. Yeah, you see who would follow him? Y'all, we all know these type of people. At the poetry slams, Ashay, Grand Rising. Y'all don't hear that on Clubhouse, Grand Rising. Y'all don't see it in those Black Hebrew Israelites rooms. Y'all not hearing it? Like, I can't put it together for you more than I can. Like I said, I just sit and listen to when I hear some shit that don't sound like some nigga shit, that I'm like, oh, okay, that's that other shit. That's this shit right here. I'm being honest with you. Velvet, the baby mama, didn't file charges. An ex-cult member by the name Janaea did. Okay? They also said he slept with both the male and female members and gave out STDs to several members. One of his male partners passed away from HIV. A sad story overall. Okay. So, because they didn't believe in medicine, so the HIV, of course, turns into AIDS, right? But how is his ass still alive? That probably taking medicine on the low, and that's the sick part. Spreading his shit around. Your research is flawed. Another woman filed the sexual assault charges that got him arrested in DeKalb County, Georgia. His wife had filed charges of assault in a different state, maybe Ohio, but he left and didn't go back there, so he wasn't arrested for abusing her. But now prosecutors were sent copies of many of those videos he uploaded, are using them as evidence of more crimes. DeKalb County is working with that state. Now, the now ex-wife has agreed to testify. They've added those plus a plethora of other charges involving at least 3 other women from the cult who've all agreed to testify against him. Lesson learned, check your shit before putting up videos. Oh, so in the video, if you remember, he cut to a picture of Elijah, Nature Boy, and Velvet and the little baby. The little baby was so chocolatey cute. The little baby was so cute. And he said that Velvet was the one, and that's what happened. But they're saying, no, it's another girl by the name of Janaea. And I believe Janaea, if you look at... Let me see if I can bring the video back. So at this point, that is Velvet, right? Oh, look at that baby. He is so cute. I believe she's the one from Ohio. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so the one in the blue right here, that's Velvet. And I believe this one in the red, yellow is Janaea. I believe so. Don't quote me. But so they're saying it's this woman from DeKalb County and that Janaea is actually from Ohio. And I can so believe that. And that she... I say that because I have family out in Ohio and I go out to Ohio and it's different. But I believe, so they're saying now Velvet is filing charges against him from all the videos and everything and stuff like that. They're able to prove some things. And it's this woman right here, I believe, in the yellow and the red and green that may have filed charges. But it's really, really sick that, you know, like they said, that he may have spread HIV and stuff to a gentleman in the carbonation, and he has passed away. Yeah, this is sad. But that's all I got for this video, y'all. Y'all know how we do it here. We keep it bougie as F, black as F, posh as F. We keep being blessed as F. And y'all be black, y'all. Kiss, 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 kiss. And I am out. And don't you forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.